Dwayne here, Phoenix, Typewriter.com. We're going to do a segment flush, clean type and segment flush on this Olympia SM-3 this morning. Lady just brought this in just a half hour ago. She's from out of town and she wanted to put a ribbon on this. And we tried that, but it's not working, of course. They didn't know what they were doing. I mean, it won't even type. These stick up as they go. It's crazy how stiff these are. And she said, why doesn't it won't work? I can't give it to my brother like that? I'm like, well, no. So, those are sticky, the type's dirty, and I noticed the ribbon drive down here. These little parts are, of course, stuck too. You barely can move them. They don't move back at all. Neither one of these on either side respond at all. Everything's just gummed up, and of course the carriages, you know, those bushings have to be replaced on the bottom here, down here, because the whole thing is compressed. But let's take this lid off and get started on this and see if we can do this in just a few minutes. So this lid comes off pretty easy like that. We're going to do that, and we're going to remove this card guide because we can, and we don't want it to get messed up, and it's in actually pretty good shape, so we don't want to. If you can remove card guides during the cleaning process, probably the best thing to do. So I will take this off real quick. There's a couple special screws and a couple little pieces that are part of this deal, so let's take this one off. Right there. It doesn't look like this machine's ever been serviced. It's just really unmolested, but very, very dirty. And I think it might have been sitting for decades too, of course. So what they call that is rode hard, put away wet. So they should have had this cleaned at some point, but never did. Okay, let's get this out of here. Just get this hung up behind this card guide. There we go. Okay, so that comes out. I can clean and polish these now really good. They're not too bad, a little bit of white out, but alright, let me put my screws and stuff in a safe place over here. The card guide in even a safer place. We're going to start, one more thing to take off this. We're going to take this panel off to make this a little easier to get the type cleaned. So this panel comes off pretty easy. And that way I'll be able to run my wire brush on the, right here on these type faces. Look at these one, I'm going to go back down. They're so stuck. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do to this typewriter before we start is a little trick I do. I've already blown it out with air to get the loose stuff out, but I'm gonna spray the keyboard with some oil, so in case I get splashes on there, it doesn't do anything. And also I'm gonna spray the carriage up here, just like this, in the exterior parts. That way, if there's any splash of the slack of thinner, it's not gonna do anything. I just leave that on there while I'm servicing it. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is clean this type right here. I'm going to put a rag over the keyboard. Cover this keyboard real good like this. Just all tucked in here tight. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on the carriage, I think, maybe under here like this. Cover up some of this so it doesn't get splashed. And I'm going to spray that with a little oil right there. Okay, now we're going to clean the type. And we're going to start with just lacquer thinner on this. So let me get a camera out of the way a little bit. And we're just going to soak the typefaces with a little lacquer thinner and give it an initial wipe off. Just get the heavy loose stuff off of there. And then I'm going to hit it with the wire brush. You know, I'm going to go ahead and, I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to go ahead and put the this other piece underneath to keep the type bars like this. Catch some of the extra lacquer thinner that I'm pouring in here. So let's do this a little more. Let's hit this. And wipe it off. And do it some more. It's coming pretty clean pretty quick, I see that already. Just repeat until it's shiny. I can't believe how bad those type bars are sticking. I've seen a lot of Smith Coronas stick like that, but the Olympias not too often. Okay, so I'm going to do this one more time and hit it with air. The last time here. And I'm going to hit this with some air. Like that. And now I'm going to actually do it again. I'm going to work down these type bars a little bit with the wire brush. Just a little, maybe some of the segment just initially here. And we're going to switch brushes a little bit here. I am going to do one more thing here that I should have done to begin with. This little dealer where it says Deluxe right there. I don't want that red to come off of there, and with the chemicals I'm using, it might. So I'm actually going to put a piece of tape over it. I'm going to cut this about the way I want it here. Let's see if I get this. Okay, so put this piece of tape right over that letter. And that's gonna keep the paint intact on this. See this? So just stick it right over that. Stick it on there super tight. I'm gonna fold that around so I can peel it off. There it is. Just get it on there real tight. So now I can tackle this a little more with the lacquer thinner right down. Get a little better shot at this. And we're just going to let this soak down. I got to get this camera out of the way a little more. Here we go. And I'm going to just flush these segments. Let's work these keys and see if that work them in a little bit. These things are gummed up. I'm not even sure if the type segment here or the pivots down below here. Well, they're freeing up. It's starting to move. So I'm just going to keep on making sure this is wet with lacquer thinner, and that's going to dissolve the old oils in there. Hit it with some air. I got my fans on, so I got a lot of ventilation here. Just like that. Repeat it. Working some more here. They're still sticking pretty. That's getting better. Keep at it. Don't let this lacquer dry out. I just want it to sit in there and dissolve that oil. Do it again. And we're going to get everything out of here. I think we can flip this up a little bit like this. Get underneath like that. Get under here. Hit it with some more air. Try to get this stuff flushed out of there. Out and down, out and away. You need a fresh start. Hit this with the wire brush here a little right there. It's a little corrosion or something. Alright, starting to... Oh yeah, see that there? It's bringing back pretty good now. Let's hit it. I'm going to do it one more time. This was really sticky. Let's do down the bars and everything here. Blow it real quick. I'm going to apply the stuff here that I love. It's got just a little trace of oil in it, mostly a cleaner. Got a little trace of oil. And it's going to be hopefully the final treatment here. Remove this piece. Let's see. Remove this. Now these are still. See this? It's still a little funky feeling. It's definitely better, but see that right there? I think this rack way down in here, that red rack right down here, it's got to be flushed out too. So I'm going to actually do that right now while it's got a little bit. So I'm going to just flush it right down, put the stuff right down in those pivots. It's got a little, it's kind of got a little cavity down there, so you can see that's another pivot point right there that needs to be, it's got oil in it too, just like the segment does. So it runs all the way across here. I'm going to hit it from the bottom side here now too. So you can see that red thing right in there. I'm going to hit it here with something from this side. And we'll go ahead and smack with a little air from this side. Mostly I want to blow it down to this. See all that gunk? Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to soak it some more down in here. Be careful not to get any of this on the keytops. Alright, I'm going to hit the air through here. I'm going to repeat that because it's got to be the part that's sticking. Alright, I'm going to blow that red piece out again here. I'm going to repeat it one more time here. And I'm actually going to hit that pretty quick here. I'm going to put this light oil down in here. key here. You know what I'm going to do too is flush these little parts out right here. See that? Just started springing. So that one. See how stuck this part is right there? It doesn't want to move. Hit that with the little lacquer thinner. It just starts springing back. Same thing with that one. Stuck. There it goes. See that? Hit that with a little air, and then I'm hit the side with a little air. These little guys. Hit it with a little oil mixture. I'm going to do all this, and I'm going to let this sit a day and make sure it's good. Alright, I think that's good for now. Look at this carriage and see how she's doing. Alright, I'll recheck it tomorrow. Line lock is sticking. Look at that. Okay, so I got to fix that too. A lot of things are sticking. Alright, well that's the basic procedure for now. I'm going to take this little piece off here, and everything is good under there. Alright, that's my typical flush of the type segment on typewriters. Typewriter, good day.